Let's go ahead and get started. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
My name is Cynthia Myers. I'm Director of Corporate Services here with the GMSDC. We're so thankful that you could join us this morning. Of course, we have our Business Opportunity Exchange coming up next week. And we wanted to introduce our esteemed panel of individuals here who are here today to talk about the Business Opportunity Exchange. And I'll let them introduce themselves. If you'll start on my left, Adam, please.
Yeah, my name is Adam Rosowski. I'm with VDART. I'm a client exchange, client account executive.
Thank you.
Well, I'm Rohit Burdayar. I'm a Vice President for Strategic Accounts for VDART.
Excellent. My name is Walter Griggs. I'm the President of SquarePack.
And last but not least, I'm Saji Franklin, MBE Services Manager here at GMSDC.
Great. And thank you so much for watching this very, very informative segment. What I've asked these gentlemen to do today is to talk from their own personal experience about the value and importance of the exchange this year. Not an expo, but an exchange. This is around alignment, development, and relationship formation. And we have some prepared questions. We would ask both of them to share their thoughts and opinions about this. Okay, so the first question will be directed to the gentleman from VDART and Mr. Walter Griggs. GMSDC, as I said, has migrated from an expo to an exchange. What does this shift in focus mean to both of you as business individuals? Rohit, we'll start with you.
Thank you for the question and the opportunity to be here with you and talk to this wonderful audience. I would say it's a totally different format, and change is everywhere. You know, you see the industry changing around us every day. So why not GMSDC? It's a brilliant new format. I think from the traditional booth setting where you spend most of the time. It's a good networking opportunity, but it's like the first half of the event is mostly catching up, and then the last part of the event is only chit-chatting. I think this is more targeted, more focused, and it's definitely one-to-one. I think it gives all the suppliers, the MBEs, and the corporates a chance to get very serious face time with potential suppliers. In the previous BOEs, the most prominent part of the event that we always used to look forward to was the networking, the matchmaking, and I think you've stepped a level up and made that a major focus of the event this year. So I think by all means it's definitely more targeted. It's more one-on-one. I think for suppliers like us, I think it means that we've got to be a little more prepared than we used to. This is only 5 minutes of fame, so we've got to make sure that we give them what they want and what they're looking forward to hearing. I'm sure we've done our research before we go out and meet these large corporations, and then the corporations have also vetted us out in terms of what they're looking for, in suppliers, and what are the categories they're buying. So I think it's important to do that research up front and get straight to the point and utilize that 5 minutes in showcasing why should they care, and what is there in it for corporations to utilize your products and services. So it's a lot more targeted. I think it's an exciting new format, and we're really looking forward to participating this year.
Thank you, Rohit. Walter, please.
Well, I'm definitely honored to be chosen to speak to you today. There's not much left after that because that was pretty thorough. But I like the format because we're shifting from presentation to relationship. Everything is built around relationships, and as we make better relationships, our businesses So I think that the GMSDC is ahead of the curve on choosing relationship over So basically, when you come, be prepared to tell your story, to show the buyers and the people you meet that you're accountable and that your company can do the job. Because if they choose the wrong supplier, their job is on the line, so they don't want to make a wrong turn. So assure them that you can do the right job and you have the opportunity to make a one-on-one relationship with someone. In the past, we did presentations. I'd rather be in a relationship than be in a presentation any given day.
Absolutely.
That's my take on it.
Thank you. Thank you, those very, very good points, and I like what you both said, and we're here to piggyback on what you said. It's about being strategic.
Yes.
And having a plan before you get there,
Correct.
and necessary to do research.
Absolutely.
And I think that that's critically important, whether it's in business development or in life in general, is being prepared. So
Yes.
that when that opportunity arises, you're prepared, as Walter says, to provide your value proposition. That was great, wonderful answers, thank you.
They said this thing such as luck is when preparation and opportunity coexist at the same time. So come to get lucky, be prepared for the opportunity.
Correct,
This is a great
We've
point.
we've done that several times, Cynthia. I think GMSDC is a classic example of how small suppliers can get to the big stage. And you know, from the time we started in 2010 to where we are, I think we've taken all of these small opportunities very, very seriously. Be it the Braves game, luncheon, or you know, I remember the breakfast series. You know, we actually made a very important connect in that specific meeting. We now become one of the largest suppliers to that customer as a result of that meeting, and it all started right here.
Wow.
So there's several examples that I can take, and I think it's important that we stress on the fact that relationships is the key. That the few minutes that you get with the specific buyer, you make an impression. You have a pitch that's straight to the point. It's bulleted, and it you should have done your research before you go out and speak those out. And then do follow-ups and all of that. Actually, it's not just that one meeting that'll get you the contract. I think it's a process of persistence and of course the credibility and the importance of building genuine relationships is what's gonna get you successful.
Absolutely.
So,
Sanji.
I'd like to ask Walter a question. And Walter, you got certified in 2015.
Yes, ma'am.
And so you're one of GMSCC's success stories as well as VDAR. But I want to talk to Walter specifically because it was the 2015 Business Opportunity Conference that actually opened the door for you. And so tell me what that was like for you at your very first Business Opportunity Conference, and how were you strategic in terms of identifying corporate partners that would bring value to you and that you would bring value to them as well?
Perfect. There was several parts. I'll try to address each part. The first way that we attempted to do this is we educated ourselves, we listened, because before any of these events, you're having classes, you're having seminars, you're having get-togethers, how to do a capability statement, how to man a booth, how to present yourself. And so I followed the rules. I just looked, I listened, I returned the emails, I signed up, and I showed up. From me being prepared from the GMSDC, giving me basically a step-by-step guide on how to do it, we showed up at the Business Opportunity Exchange, just like we were told. We set up our booth in a professional manner, and we presented our product offering, because that's what we do, because we're professional, and we made great connections. One of the connections was so strong that we're doing business right now with one of the strongest corporations here in Georgia, directly because of the Business Opportunity Exchange. And it was so important to attend the classes because the GMSDC understood our business offering, and where they were placing the map, they strategically placed us near clients that we could potentially do business with. So it was very important for us to learn, but also to fit ourselves into the mold so that we could be, of use to these corporations out here. I thought it was beautiful.
So Rohit, I will probably ask you the same thing. I mean, you guys are also very successful here at GMSDC, but tell me, what is it that you do specifically to kind of allow VDAR to stand apart and just be more successful each year? Because each year you're growing and you're growing to scale and capacity. So tell me what you guys do.
Sure. So I believe networking has been the key. At the same time, we've utilized the GMSDC platform to the fullest capacity. We made friends, and we've reach out to friends to make a recommendation to another friend, and that's really been extremely helpful. In terms of credibility, in terms of capabilities, over the last few years we've done extensive work on that, and it's a conscious effort. We've built capacity around our business operations. We've built capabilities which are very niche and strategic, and it's cutting edge in the industry. Something that most of our customers and our end customers are talking about, all the digital revolution that's going on. So we've already, a step ahead of our contemporaries, because we've invested in those technologies over a period of time. We've received mentoring over a period of time, and then we follow the industry trends and keep acquiring talent in these specialty skills that keep us on the cutting edge. So that's the key. I think the other thing that we've done is we've tried to form genuine, very, very genuine relationships. It's some customers that we are working with, in the Georgia marketplace. It's taken us 3 years. I think one other customer I've got. This is the very first time I've landed onto their master services contract. It took me 4 years to get there.
Wow.
So there's no shortcut.
So determination and patience.
Patience,
Yes.
absolutely.
Yes, ma'am.
So that opportunity would come if you lined up correctly, if you're positioned correctly, and if you have the name in the marketplace. In fact, I'll tell you what. I was just presenting last week before one of the GMSDC corporations, and they hadn't we hadn't worked with them previously, but they said, every year I see you winning an award. So you're already always on our radar, and it's just a matter of time that we were looking for this RFP opportunity, and hopefully we'll get to that stage. So I think all these networking events and these exchanges, take them extremely seriously, and grow on various different levels. Build competencies, build capacity, build credibility in the marketplace, and then form genuine relationships.
Wonderful, thank you.
This is great advice from both of you that I think that our minority business owners need to think about and consider is the value and importance of relationships. Because as we know, business is done based on relationships, and people tend to work with people they like and that they trust. And there's certainly, while you can't put a dollar value on it, frankly, you can't put a dollar value on it because it's just that critical. And sometimes it's even more critical than technical prowess, is having that relationship and having the technical ability. And I believe that that is certainly a synergistic thing. So,
Absolutely.
okay.
And of course, being able to deliver.
Yes,
Oh, yes,
absolutely.
eventually.
That's
All comes to that.
And another thing, this is the MBEIC coming out of me. Don't be afraid to do business with other MBEs, because you're going to do business with these corporations, but you're going to have, hundreds of millions of dollars of spending power of MBEs that everybody's looking that way. Turn to each other and do some business with each other.
Absolutely.
And that's been a true successful point, reaching out to other MBEs, because they understand my business, and it may not be them, but they may be connected to someone I'm trying to get in contact with. So don't be afraid to partner, invest time, and form a relationship with other MBEs.
absolutely. I think that, as you said, Walter, that there's millions of dollars of spend between and among MBE companies. And I think that sometimes as we grow, as MBEs grow in scale, they're so busy focused on the corporate that they overlook the obvious.
Absolutely.
And that can help grow your business and develop some projects. You get some very critical projects under your belt that you can then leverage when you go to the corporates to say, here are some of the things that we've done. We've worked with VDART, we've worked with any number of companies, and they can attest to our ability from a technical standpoint, and then the value add of partnering and relationships. So I think that's a very good point as well. We talked, and my question about networking, of course, I think at this point is absolutely moot, because we've talked about that has been a theme throughout this entire discussion, is the value add and importance of networking across vertically, horizontally. You cannot put a price tag on that. So as we move toward wrapping up, I would certainly say for MBEs who perhaps are on the fence about the exchange, I would encourage you to go ahead and register. There is still time to do so, but we would need you to do that as soon as possible.
Yes.
There are corporates in the room who will be doing our corporate touch points. And then there will also be corporates in the room who are just simply coming from out of state, who want to be in the room, who are there, who want to just engage MBEs. In fact, we have one of our corporate partners that's coming from as far away as Virginia. And that should demonstrate the commitment and the value and the importance of this event. So I would strongly encourage any and all of our MBE constituents to really, really think about this, because this is an investment in your business. So I would ask at this point, do we have any final thoughts from our esteemed panel? Is there anything that you would like to say and feel this burning desire to share with MBEs?
Yeah, talk to the MBEs.
Yes,
Yes.
please do.
So
You can tell the story.
So last year, you guys had me facilitate a panel on the value of being an MBE. So if you just break it down into pure dollars, let's just talk mathematics. Even if you pay $600 to get in, we grew so much from what we spent. If you just talk about return, ROI, return on investment, the small amount that you spend for maybe the price of an advertisement in a print or something like that, or an internet ad, you're going to get residual return from this. And you may even land yourself a relationship with one of these major corporations or major MBEs, because they're both out there.
Absolutely.
Right.
Well, I think this is very targeted, this event, and let's understand and dive deep into why GMSDC is doing this and what's in it for GMSDC to switch from the traditional BOE format to the one-on-one sessions. I think a lot of the time that these buyers attend these events, I mean, if they're looking for construction and facilities management, they have to say no to several guys looking for opportunities in information technology. So there's a lot of time that goes in these dialogues that is not productive. I think in this format, specific format, corporations are telling us what they want, and then GMSDC is actually doing its best to not just partnering, suppliers to the buyers of that commodity, but also it's giving suppliers, the MBEs, an opportunity to pick corporations that they'd like to see and meet with, and I think that's also one of the requirements of during the registration process. So I think we are going to do a fair bit of research on our end before we get there, and of course use this as an opportunity that this person that you're going to meet is going to put in a word to the procurement community, to the supplier diversity community, to the external and internal stakeholders, and then you never know. I think sometimes you think it takes too long, but you know, if you've got the right product,
Mhm.
and if you've got, you know, if you've got the right services, and if there's an immediate need, there would not be a long sales cycle associated. So just be prepared, and good luck.
Okay.
Terrific.
Well, at this time, we'd like to thank our esteemed panel for being here. We certainly hope that our MBEs have enjoyed this segment, and we loved seeing you on April 25th and 26th at the World Headquarters of COPE. Join us, and we will see you